Am I the a-hole for calling my sister-in-law a mistress in front of everyone after she said I deserve paternity test? My brother had an extramarital affair. He divorced my sister-in-law and married his current wife, his mistress. He basically ditched his wife and married this woman, and now our family is trying to accept her because of my brother. At our family gathering on Sunday, my sister-in-law, the mistress, asked my wife to prove that our daughter is actually mine. We're all brown, and while I'm on the fairer side, my daughter was born with a darker complexion. She told my wife that it would be nice if she took a paternity test to prove to our family that the child is mine, saying my daughter should have inherited my fairness. My wife couldn't even respond because she was in complete shock. I told her right away that she doesn't need to prove anything. She's not going to prove herself to anyone. My sister-in-law said it was better to find out the truth now rather than later. I snapped back that she's a mistress, so maybe she's experienced or inexperienced when it comes to those matters. My mom pulled me aside and asked why I would say that out loud in front of everyone. I raised my voice and said, a second-rate mistress is questioning my wife about paternity when she shouldn't even be having affairs with married men. I left with my wife after that. My brother later called and demanded that we apologize to his wife. I told him I will never apologize to her, and I won't let my wife do so either, even if she wanted to. He tried to justify his affair, saying he didn't want to stay in his arranged marriage. I told him I don't care. His new wife is still a mistress and an idiot for accusing another woman of infidelity. Am I the a-hole? My family is fractured. Honestly, we broke apart because of that mistress. But I will never apologize to her or to my brother for the disgusting accusations she made toward my wife. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. So your mom and brother were okay with her questioning the paternity of her grandchild, but not with you calling her out for cheating? F that. Never apologize. My mom wasn't okay with that mistress's accusations. She was just trying to do whatever she thought was best for both of us. I don't think my mom would actually question my daughter's legitimacy. I think she was just trying to manage the situation for my brother's sake and forgot about me for a bit. That's not accurate. If your mother called you out for speaking up, she is supporting sister-in-law's questioning of your child's paternity. My mom called me out for talking about my brother and his wife's relationship in front of everyone. She asked why I would say such things publicly. She was thinking about the embarrassment it might cause the family. My mom always tries not to take sides, even when her sons are wrong, but my brother did something unspeakable. He cheated and had an affair just because his marriage was arranged, and then he married his mistress? Arranged marriage doesn't mean forced marriage. If he didn't want to marry my former sister-in-law, he should have said so. Instead of marrying her, having an affair, and humiliating her by marrying his mistress. My marriage was arranged too, and I would never think of cheating on my wife just because I was a bit unhappy. And this mistress, someone who isn't even truly part of our family, had the audacity to ask my wife to prove that my daughter is mine when she was the one having an affair. The absolute gall of cheaters to accuse others of their same behavior never ceases to amaze me. And sorry, but your mother is an enabling idiot for calling you out when her cheating a-hole son's now legal side piece made such an inflammatory accusation in front of everyone. I hope that by being broken off, your enabling mother is part of that. As for your brother and his new wife, better off to be alone than to have them around. Not the a-hole. Cheaters always think everyone is cheating too. Anything to excuse their behavior. Next story. Am I the a-hole because I'm not mad that mom ruined my dad's wedding and told everyone at it that him and his wife are cheaters? My parents had a really bad divorce 2 years ago because my dad cheated on my mom. Me, 16 male, my brother, 14 male, and my sister, 13 female, found out about it because we got dropped home early after spending the night at a relative's house. We could hear mom yelling at dad about it before we even went inside. The fight stopped when they realized we were home, but we already heard mom say dad cheated. A few days later, dad sat us down and told us he was dating someone else, and that she was pregnant. I asked him if he cheated, and he said it was complicated and that it was nothing for us to worry about. We don't really like dad after what he did, and we don't like his wife either. She used to be one of mom's friends from work, which makes it worse. She pretended to be mom's friend while she was sleeping with dad behind her back. She also cheated on her own 7-year-old daughter's father, who left them because of it. And no, Dad isn't that girl's biological father. They're different races, so that's impossible. Dad and his wife got married in June. We were forced to go, even though none of us wanted to be there. It was horrible watching him marry the woman he cheated with. Then Mom showed up and interrupted the wedding, yelling at both of them for cheating and making us watch. She called out Dad's wife for pretending to be her friend and destroying our family. It really pissed off Dad and his wife, especially because her daughter was there and heard everything. When they saw us go to Mom, they got even more upset. Dad made us sit down, then kicked Mom out and threatened to call the police. After the reception started, Dad asked us why we went to Mom, and we told him because she's our mom. He said she was wrong and ruined his wedding. My sister said she didn't care. He deserved it. His wife said her daughter didn't deserve to be caught up in Mom's temper tantrum. I just shrugged. Then she told us to leave, so I called Mom and she picked us up. We haven't gone to Dad's much since. Dad keeps trying to make us mad at Mom, but we're not. He keeps saying we should be mad at both of them, not just him. But honestly, he's the one who cheated and made all of us live through this. Am I the a-hole? Dad went all serious talk on us and was like, you can't excuse people doing bad things and ruining things for others. And he said Mom never should have let us see that stuff. Well, Dad, maybe do what you preach and take accountability first for the things you've done, seeing as you cheated. The audacity to act like he has the moral high ground after what he did and still think he can preach it, LOL. Definitely not the a-hole, and if anything, be more mad at Dad and the mistress. I heard him tell Mom that cheating isn't the worst thing ever, and that bad reactions to cheating are worse than the actual cheating. That's some weird mental gymnastics crap to me. Cheating not being that bad is so dumb. It hurts more than just two people when they have a family, like my parents had. I hope you're ready to cut him off, or at the very least go low contact. Your dad is an imbecile, no offense, but I hope he'd take offense to that. Your mom did a bit too much, but who are we to preach who can tell their truth or not? No offense taken. I think that kind of thing about my dad all the time now. Not the a-hole, like it all. You're 16, not stupid. Your dad cheated, lied, and forced y'all to go to a wedding for the woman he did it with. Your mom lost her marriage, her friend, and then had to watch her kids be dragged into the mess they made. Of course she snapped. Your dad's trying to act like she's the problem when he literally blew up your family. And now he wants y'all to be mad at your mom? For what? Telling the truth? He's mad you're not pretending everything's fine and clapping for him like nothing happened. Sucks for him, but actions have consequences even years later. You and your siblings get to feel how you feel. Also, your mom didn't ruin the wedding. He did. She just said out loud what everyone already knew. Stand your ground. You're not the one who messed up. He used the whole there's a time and place argument for why Mom was wrong. Maybe he's right and what Mom did wasn't great. But why not stand by what you did if you have no regrets or don't think you were wrong? I asked my dad that one of the other times, and he said there's just things you don't tell other people. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling my friend's husband a useless piece of crap? My best friend and her husband have 4 daughters, 8, 6, 4, and 3. My friend's husband is a great dad when someone is there to help. When he's alone with all 4 kids, he gets overwhelmed and freezes. A few weeks ago, my friend was sick, so I brought over dinner. We thought it was just a bad cold. When we were eating, my friend went to the bathroom and the 3-year-old followed her. The 3-year-old came running out saying her mom was throwing up. All of the kids ran to the bathroom, followed by me and my friend's husband. I helped her clean up while her husband went to get her nausea medicine and a thermometer. When he came back, I asked him to get the kids out of the bathroom so she could have some space. After we got the kids out, I took her temp and it came back at almost 104, so I went out to get her some Tylenol and water. I get back and the kids are all in the bathroom again because their dad can't keep them away from the bathroom for 2 minutes. I gave her the Tylenol and water and she almost immediately started to vomit again, then passed out. Her husband just stood there while I was trying to get her into the recovery position, get the kids away from her, and call 911. I managed to get all of them out of the bathroom, and her husband kept coming back every 20 seconds, asking if I could call their nanny to help with the kids. If I could go to the hospital with her, did I start the dishwasher, or does he need to hand wash the youngest's sippy cup, etc.? When my friend regained consciousness, he even started asking her how to do bedtime for the little ones. Did she wash their pajamas yet? Did they get screen time that day? Or can he put on a movie? I told him his wife couldn't hold his hand right now, and he just had to figure it out. He told me he's not usually the one that deals with this, and he's trying his best. Then goes back to asking what stories the kids like, what setting does he put the sound machine on, and how they like their milk. I just snapped and told him to figure it out on his own and called him a useless piece of crap. It's been nearly a month, and he still acts all pissy when I stop by the house. My friend says he'll get over it, but my boyfriend thinks I was unnecessarily rude and he was trying his best. Am I the a-hole for calling him a useless piece of crap when he couldn't handle his own kids while his wife was experiencing a medical emergency? Not the a-hole. Wife unconscious. He's asking about bedtime stories and sippy cups? Sometimes harsh truth is needed. Not the a-hole. He froze in an actual emergency. Bedtime routines can wait when someone's passing out. He didn't freeze. Pretty sure he's never had to be a parent before. I'm 100% certain he'd call himself a great dad without ever having looked after the children, without relying on his partner to do most of the mental, emotional, and physical work. Honestly, I think you were too kind. Would he have even called 911 if you weren't there? Or just shaken her awake to ask her why she was slacking off? This dude is not a good dad. He's cosplaying while his wife works herself to serious illness. I bet she hasn't been given any help to recover either. I would be making it my life mission to make this dude miserable and get my friend ready for a divorce. She's already a single mom. Removing him would be a net drop in care work because she has to parent him as well. She spent 3 days in the hospital, and her dad stayed at the house for a week to help out. And I stopped by whenever I could to check on things, so she was able to recover in peace for the most part. She should divorce the husband and use the child support to have the nanny move in. Her dad wasn't in her life growing up, so she stays with him so her kids have a dad, or so she has a family. I don't agree with her choices, but I understand them. Is there any possibility of her getting therapy? I get where she's coming from with her choices, but equally, she's modeling some unhealthy things for the children by staying with this guy. She can get therapy, but she doesn't want to. Last story. Am I the a-hole for asking my foster parents to go to my case worker's boss to get me out of the reunification with my bio siblings? I, 16, was put in foster care when I was 8 with my younger brother, who was 18 months, and my younger sister, who was 5 months old. Back then, we lived with our mom, and she didn't take care of us. I was forced to try and take care of my siblings the best I could. One of the guys my mom was dating at the time beat me, and when I went to school, a teacher talked to me about my bruises and she called CPS. My siblings and I were taken by the end of that week. Our first 2 foster families were the same. Then it was decided I wasn't doing well being placed with them, and they had a better chance of being adopted at their ages than I did, so we were separated and didn't have contact. I was 11 before I got my current foster family, who are the best, and I bounced around a lot before then. Right after I was placed with my foster parents, I got a new caseworker and she was really annoying. She used to talk about taking me from my foster family and finding me a different family. She asked me questions about why I wasn't eligible for adoption already, and I didn't know. My parents wanted to get me therapy, and she made them jump through 1,000,001 hoops for it. We felt like she wanted us to beg. In January, she suddenly decided reunification between me and my siblings was needed, and she decided we needed therapy on our own first, and then a reunion. I didn't want the reunion, and I told her. She said I didn't know what was good for me and they hadn't been as lucky as me, but wouldn't tell me more then. After a couple of months of speaking to a therapist, she said my siblings didn't get adopted or find a stable foster family. They were separated a few times and brought back together eventually each time. My parents agreed that reuniting was not good for me, and I asked them if they could speak to the caseworker's boss or something and stop it. They promised to try, but warned me it might not work. They made some calls and requested meetings, and they finally got to see my caseworker's boss, who's another caseworker. They explained things to her. She talked to me and my therapist. Then she overruled my caseworker and canceled the reunification. Ever since that was official, my caseworker has been really pissy when I see her, and she asked why we had such an issue with a family reunion. She said she would have expected me to miss and want to be with my siblings again. My parents told her it wasn't something that should be forced on me if I'm not ready. So things are tense, and I can tell she's pretty angry. My parents are looking to see if they can request another caseworker on my behalf, but yeah, I don't know if what I did was bad or not. I just did not want that reunion. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Just because this person is in a position where they have an authoritative voice over you does not mean you do not have the right to ask for a new one or to go around them. Not quite the same thing, but my children are disabled, and during the pandemic there was a resource that would give them some support items due to the impact of the pandemic. The caseworker my children had at the time seemed to treat my husband and me like we were trying to milk our disabled children for that sweet, sweet free dollar. Added hoops to try to access the resources, when the point of the resources was that you didn't need the regular hoops due to the pandemic. Think like a note from an occupational therapist or developmental pediatrician, which I did have, and told us that because of the delay, my children wouldn't get the resources. Sometimes people in power roles think they know best when they don't. I ended up finding out that person's boss and called and told them everything that was going on. And I had a new caseworker for my kids, and we got the resources. If the person isn't listening to you, then you are absolutely in the right to speak louder till somebody does. I'm really sorry you guys had to fight so hard for the stuff your disabled kids need. I had some foster siblings over the years who were disabled, and they were treated even worse than my caseworker treats me. The way it looked was getting what would make the kids' lives better was seen as people trying to milk the system that's meant to help with that. Glad it all worked out in the end. It makes me think a new caseworker could really help us too. Not the a-hole. Your caseworker is acting like a pus-infected flaming a-hole though. She is not doing what's best for you. That is her job. First, trying to replace you to a new home where you are doing well is uncalled for. How are you supposed to know about eligibility for adoption as well? She obviously isn't good at her job. Trying to force reunification when not only do you not want it right now, or maybe ever, isn't right. You are only a few years out from being more independent. Why rock a stable boat? She definitely needs to be replaced. I wonder if they did an official review of how many mistakes she has probably made on all the cases she's handled. Just stay focused on trying to see your therapist and work through the issues you have. You did a thoughtful thing separating from your younger siblings, who are 7 years younger, in the hopes they'd find a better home together. Best of luck. I hope everything in your future is brighter. My parents said she might like to use threats, moving me, to get what she wants or to make people do as she says. I don't know if that's what she did, but she never made it easy for me to trust her, let alone like her. My last caseworker was way nicer and never forced this stuff on me. She never would have made it hard to get to therapy.